Welcome back to my channel, Taurus. Much love and thanks out to my existing subscribers and all those that are new to my channel. Welcome. I always appreciate your support and your time. So, quick reminder, these are general readings. It can't possibly speak to everybody. You're certainly all at different stages of your life with your own unique situations. So, just allow for a little bit of flexibility on the time frames. You won't be sharing the same life story. So, again, this is just a reading for Taurus, March 1st through to the 14th, 2021, career, money, and finance. So I will be using the Energy Oracle cards and the Rider-Waite deck. So first out for you, Taurus, is the card of, it's actually Archangel Michael, which revolves around home and stability. So with this card coming through, I would say that your focus is quite strongly based around your home front and things that go on in the home front, that kind of thing. So in this 2-week period, again, from March 1st through to the 14th, whatever's happening around your home, I would say there's going to be a little bit of a struggle here for you in this first 2 weeks. It does look like there's some kind of a conflict coming through. I don't know if this is really in around money, because there were some pentacle cards, but it just looks like whatever that conflict is, it certainly looks like it's around a relationship of some sort anyway, and certainly a significant one. So I don't go into a lot of the love readings or the love aspect of it, but just to give you some, feeling around what the energy is. This is a significant relationship. Again, maybe this is on the business front, or something that relates to what you consider to be stability. But either way, relationship conflict of some sort. For others, again, this could be just more generalized tension that's brewing in the house or around, whatever you consider, again, your foundation. It could involve people that you consider close to you, support systems, or what have you. So, but again, really significant for a certain set of you that a relationship is very, very present in this conflict. So that was further clarified with the Four of Swords and further clarified with the Four of Cups. So I feel that you're out of balance here. Where there are fours, generally this represents stability, but given this combination of cards, I feel that there's some sense of lack. I feel that, there is not just a feeling of lackluster or being uninspired, but maybe I'll just put this back here. But the Four of Cups and the Four of Swords really speaks to me that you're in retreat mode, or that there's some kind of general inaction. So while the Four of Cups is a sense of stagnation, for me, you're having some difficulty pulling yourself out of this energy. And whether that speaks to boredom or laziness or lethargy or just an overall sense of no progress, because it is further clarified with the Nine of Cups, it would appear that there's dissatisfaction around your happiness. And because so many cards spoke to a very strong relationship, I suspect it's along the lines of, a romantic relationship or a marriage or a coupleship along that line for a lot of you. But it seems like there's something's changed in some way on that front. It was further clarified with the World card and again with the Lovers. I guess I can't really pull those through so you can see all of them, but we've got the Lovers card, and again, you've also got the Four of Cups here again. And behind that is the World card. So again, these were clarifiers for the Four of Cups and for the Four of Swords, as well as the Nine of Cups. And really that combination, again, it all speaks to relationships. So for whatever reason, this seems to be what's coming through for you, at least in the first 2 weeks that you're dealing with a lot of that. It goes a little more into detail with the Rider-Waite deck that I further clarify beyond just the Oracle cards here as well, but I'll get into that aspect with the money more specifically in that latter. Again, it'll be Rider-Waite deck with the 2 weeks of more specific to the finance. But with the Oracle cards, it seems like whatever relationship that you have is revolving around money here. That seems to be negatively impacting your emotional state at this time. So anyway, again, so whatever this partnership is, it's strongly influencing your finances in some way, but you're not happy at this time, at least in that beginning week. And I feel that you're doing a little bit of a life review or assessment of what makes you happy with that World card, because something has definitely changed on that front. So for others, it might be an ending of some kind of negative cycle or a challenge again in the relationship sector, and it can reference, that you're actually finding a solution, with the World card, or that there is a solution in progress, and that'll, obviously put an end to some aspect of whatever's troubling you here. So following that, we actually have the Queen of Pentacles coming through as well. So that could reference a nurturing, multitasking person, woman, man, somebody who just really looks after the home front. Could represent you in the reading or someone close to you. But there is a sense here that with the Magician following, and with that combination, for me, it's you trying to manifest something. So from the home front. So maybe it's to do with a business that you're trying to inspire yourself on some level, but because there's some issue with the relationship, maybe you're just feeling lackluster or not motivated to start a project or start anything. So we also have, and also I just wanted to quickly reference with that World card as well, and the Magician card, and that combination. It just feels like some of you might be yearning to travel here as well with that World card, and also with the Three of Wands. But there's just not enough in balance to really bring about the change that I feel you want to make at this time on whatever front that you're relating this to. So if we're speaking to travel, there's just not enough balance to be able to go forward, balance in relationship, harmony, finance, whatever it is for you. And certainly, with the pandemic, that would be a factor as well, depending on where you live. There's more freedoms in certain areas where you're able to get out and travel a little bit more, in your province or in your state than you would be in other areas of the world. So anyway, outside of that, I do feel that you're desiring some kind of a new path or a little adventure in your life right now, but nothing's happening because that Three of Wands really speaks to a period of waiting. I just feel that you're not overly inspired because the Ace of Wands is in reverse, and it can also represent some kind of further delay or feeling like you have no direction for some of you. You just might be feeling a little bit lost here in this first couple of weeks. Following that, we have the Temple path. So I feel Spirit is trying to direct you to a path in this month. It may be just in the first 2 weeks that you're not really able to address that, and it will probably play out in the latter part of March, that you're getting some answers. But I just feel that Spirit is trying to direct you in a path, to point you in the right direction. We also have woman holding a coin, and this could represent you or someone coming in that you will meet. This actually came through in a couple of different ways here. There was man holding the coin and all of that. So anyway, it feels like there's some kind of connections that you're making with people in this month anyway, or at least for sure that first 2 weeks. But with women holding a coin, this could represent you or someone coming in, as I said, that may have some may have some wealth or some substance, that entrepreneurial, independent kind of person, likely someone who's in business. But this could be somebody that you meet through your business or through your workplace. And again, that was further clarified by the Four of Wands and the Queen of Swords, which follows here. But I just feel that you could be feeling trapped by your circumstances right now, which might involve a Libra or a Virgo with the Queen of Swords that comes through following all of that. And again, this could represent, as I say, Libra, Virgo with the Queen of Swords, someone that you consider fairly close to your home front. So there might be somebody that you're at odds with on in those astrological signs. But it could also represent someone who gets to the point, somebody who's lively and poignant and upfront. They might be a little brutally honest at times, but it's really a card of power where you're trying to gain some clarity about a particular issue that you're dealing with on the home front, and that is somehow impacting your stability to some degree. So we also had the King of Wands, and I further clarified that with the Queen of Wands. So I feel with the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, it again feels very strongly to me that there's some kind of a soulmate connection here, or a married couple. And again, with that Four of Wands, that it's a long-standing coupleship or relationship or alliance or business partnership. It's something that's not new. Obviously, this is something that has been fairly rooted with foundation. So it seems to be that you're seeking a practical solution of some kind to your issues around that partnership. But I felt that it was practical solutions because you've got the Ace of Pentacles coming through. So I just feel that there is a real solid, grounded energy, a strong sense of loyalty and stability within this connection. So despite whatever challenges you're confronted with in this first 2 weeks, I feel it will resolve itself, given more time in the month. It doesn't look like it's a quick fix because the Pentacles are a little bit more of a, investment kind of energy. It's slow, steady, reliable type of energy. You're working at it kind of energy. And again, it's around the foundation. So to me, it's more of a deeper alignment and similarities between the people that are involved here that connect. So we also have the Thinking Woman, and this feels like for some of you that you might be meeting someone that really understands you, that could be a counselor or a teacher, or that you're learning to find your voice in a situation and communicate that more clearly with someone from the past, or that you're dealing with a lot of children or younger people here where you're teaching them, or you're learning how to stop dwelling on a situation for others. And that's because of the clarifiers. Again, with that, trying to get clarity and communicate better with the Page of Swords here. And further clarified by the Seven of Swords. I just feel that, a lot of you are, with that Seven of Swords energy, trying to find a clever way of navigating around some obstacles that you're also trying to intuitively deal with. With the Six of Cups, again, this feels like it's somebody from the past that you're predominantly influenced by. And certainly, again, I felt you're trying to find, strategic ways of dealing with those obstacles. And certainly on a more of an intuitive basis with the Ace of Cups. But the Six of Cups to me can also represent some kind of forgiveness or healing of a situation. And again, because you have a couple of new beginnings here, with the Page of Cups coming through, that is really usually a good omen, and certainly on an emotional front. But it's also followed up by the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel you're about to have some kind of new emotional beginning, or there's a resolve for the situation. So again, that Page of Cups does bode well to bringing in this fresh start or new understanding. And again, the Page of Cups is I feel, it could represent a child, but I just feel for the most part it's more of, just news coming in here. But again, we also have following the Ace of Cups. So again, for some of you, this could represent an opportunity that's coming in entrepreneurial, or for others, it'll be on the work front, hearing from an employer or someone who wants to hire you. But we also have the Man holding a coin. So again, this could be related around a job. Somebody that's coming in here that, that could, I was also getting another feeling I just wanted to quickly mention. Also with that Page of Cups and the Page of Swords and the Six of Cups, for some reason I'm just getting a feeling like there's some kind of a gossipy energy around that as well. So, even though there's good news there, it still feels like there might be a little bit of a gossipy energy around something that's related to the past, or maybe spying or something challenging. There's a challenging energy around that for some of you that might be more relevant. So also just throwing that in there. But as far as the rest here, as I say, I feel that the outcome for both scenarios is that it's still resulting with the same opportunity up ahead with that Ace of Pentacles. So whoever that person is definitely feels like a relationship is getting a second wind here with that Ace of Cups. And we did have the Ace of Pentacles. So again, there's a definite new beginning on a few fronts there, practical sense, putting in the work, and certainly, emotional shift of some sort where both parties are maybe feeling more of a reciprocal energy. So also, man holding a coin could represent someone who's quite well off, that's offering you some sound financial advice, or just speaking to you more generally as a wise person with a supportive ear, that may be encouraging you in this first 2 weeks or in this month, really, because for some of you that energy is going to be more further out because you're not all making the same decisions, as I've said before, on the same date. Some of you will be making, your decisions a little further out, and the energy is a little bit more residual. So it may operate a little further into March for some of you. But anyway, when it was clarified, the man holding a coin, I just feel that, again, this could be a wise person with a supportive ear, just encouraging you in some aspect of your life. And because that was clarified again with Temperance card, I feel that you're having to wait for a result. It also feels to me that you're being very divinely inspired to find a solution, but to be patient. So I feel that your advice is to be patient and just sit in this moment of pause until a more appropriate moment arrives for you to be able to address the issue. We also have the Seven of Pentacles. Again, same sort of energy about sitting back. You've planted some seeds, or you maybe had a few minor discussions about something, but nothing has fully developed yet. So you're just having to wait until you're able to move forward. And then, of course, we've got, the Two of Cups. So there could be stronger alliance here at some point. This part of it is more general energies for that first 2 weeks, and then we'll be more specific with the Rider-Waite as we go further out. So again, with the Two of Cups, there is some kind of a union or alliance that certainly does have a new beginning. So there is going to be some kind of a resolve here. But again, because it's so closely connected to the hostilities cards, to me, it does indicate that this is around, again, a partnership or a business situation, or someone who, you have some kind of a long-standing commitment with, or you've known for some time, maybe even just from the past. Maybe you are, friends in business, or however that relates for you. But it just feels like your advice, again, is to be patient and sit in this pause until a more appropriate moment arrives for you to be able to approach the issues. So because it's so close to the hostilities card, it does feel like there's a lot of aggression or a lot of defensive energy and hostility around whatever this issue is. So that's why I think it's very strategic and very important to be able just to, step away and take a breather before approaching this particular situation. I feel that you're just not feeling like you're getting your point across and being heard. So it does feel to me with the Emperor card that this could be someone who generally runs the show or has a lot of strong beliefs and values and very structured in the way that they conduct themselves, as to who this hostility is around. But we also have the Page of Wands, so that's going to bring in some honest clarity eventually here with the Ace of Swords, so that you'll have a conversation sometime in that 2-week period, probably toward the second week, to move things forward and clear the air. So although there is still a lot of anxiety around the issues for right now with the Nine of Swords, the 9 is a card of getting close to completion. Once you hit the 10, you pretty much have, dealt with it, lesson learned, and you're able to move forward. But you're still in that period of just trying to come to a conclusion with it. So the Knight of Cups is bringing in a heartfelt message is what I feel. And this, again, for some of you is going to relate on more of a romantic nature, or simply someone who is clearly sending you a message with the Knight of Swords, that you've learned something in the process of this indifference, and that there's some truth that came at a cost. We've also got the Page of Cups coming through with that message. And certainly with the Libra card here, there may be a Libra astrological sign that represents, or, some sense of justice that is trying to come through, but because it's followed up by the Five of Swords, to me, it really speaks to there was a lesson learned in the process of this indifference where some truth came at a cost, or something that you thought was fair was more of a one-sided truth, or vice versa. Something somebody else thought was fair was more of a one-sided truth. So we also have the Eight of Wands, and this is usually quick communication, or a lot of exchange of, messages back and forth. So again, for some of you, this could speak to kind of a hot issue or a hot button. And we do have that followed up with the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords. So that combination to me really speaks to some kind of rapid change or game playing that went on with this combination. So there may have been some kind of rule that was broken here, or an avoidance of responsibility, and it's come to light. So it just feels like someone hasn't been entirely honest here with the Five of Swords, and it looks like now something has come to light. Everything's out in the open. So we also have the Star card. So that to me speaks to hope. And it's followed up by the Five of Cups Lost card. And then there's the Hanged Man. So, the hope with the Star over the loss in whatever the issue was, whether it was trust or, whatever that conflict represented for you. It just feels like whatever the issue was that caused that impasse with the Hanged Man and the conflict of the Three of Swords, there's still a lot of confusion in that first week before things really start to clear up. But you are getting the Judgment card followed by the High Priestess. So for sure, your patience is bringing about these improvements to the situation and allowing for things to be revealed so that it can be dealt with on the surface. So intuition may be providing some new insights or a new perspective to the situation, or there's a shift in your mindset or someone's mindset or both parties, which is allowing growth in the situation. So we also have the King of Cups. So again, this can be speaking to, a father figure, or a Pisces or some kind of a water sign coming through. And that's followed up by the Knight of Wands. So again, a lot of this seems to be very, based very strongly around this connection, but or this alliance, business partnership, whatever that is to you, but it's a long-standing connection, something from the past. And again, the second portion of the reading, moving into the second week here, really speaks more clearly to your finances, but the oracle cards here and the clarifiers really drew significant attention to, an area that I feel has really impacted your focus this month, and that may be why you're not able to really spend a lot of attention or time in trying to develop new projects. But it just feels like in some way this situation, even though it does feel like it's around your money, but you've maybe put it as a secondary it's maybe secondary to the issue. So money may be taking a secondary role to the primary issue of the relationship that seems to be impacting you for the first 2 weeks here. But it's somehow, entwined. But again, with that King of Cups, I feel that many of you are dealing with, again, water sign. And it's followed up here with the Knight of Wands. So there's a feeling of nostalgia. And I feel an inevitable transformation with the Death card. And that's shaping out the outcome. But again, long-standing connection here from the past. So with the Death card, there's some kind of a transformation or an ending of some sort for some of you. But it doesn't feel like it could be an ending because there is so many swords here and certainly lots and lots of pain and conflict and a lot of real dominant energy here. And again, that could speak to a job loss for some of you, but unfortunately, the conflict with this entrepreneurial energy or strong, successful figure who has successfully achieved a level of status, likely again in the business world, is rounding up to some kind of a conclusion of sorts. Because again, you do have new beginnings, so there might be some kind of a truce achieved for some. Others of you are moving on in other ways. So with the World card, there's been some kind of a lesson that's been learned here. So there's a couple of new beginnings here, again, on the emotional front, again, in more of a practical way for some. Again, that could speak to, maybe shifting jobs here for those that were employed and having conflict with, somebody in authority. But it does feel that for others of you, once that conclusion, you've done and dealt with the argument or conflict, that you're able to actually get a new beginning. Again, these are repeat cards here. So there's definitely some kind of emotional restoration of sorts. So balance has been restored. But again, it speaks to a new opportunity for those that are seeking employment as well. So it actually looks like there's 2 or 3 opportunities here coming through. Well, at least 2 for sure in terms of employment. So whether you take it or not, at least it's an opportunity that's coming through for you to make that decision. But again, with the 2 of Pentacles, this is looking like there's more balance, even though you might be juggling still, some of your priorities. And maybe a little bit in terms of finances, but for me, it just really feels like it's dealing with more emotional stuff that you're trying to juggle. Because there's just a lot of cups, cards of cups and emotions represented here. So with the 3 of Cups, again, it just feels like there is some kind of mutual acknowledgement of the situation. You're both finding some kind of reciprocity. There's a bit of a give and take and exchange now, as that second week wraps up, and especially with the 6 of Pentacles following. So we also have the Hierophant. This is you coming through in your own reading here. So again, it also does represent a marital couple, or again, it could be in terms of that relationship, but it could also be that it's a business, a corporation of some sort that is coming through here very strongly. So again, for those that are entrepreneurial, if you're at odds with a business partner, you're now going to be able to share in that give and take and, restorative energy with that new beginning with the Ace of Cups. And you're going to be able to have mutual consideration, for both of you to be able to move forward. But for those seeking employment, again, there may have been some kind of lost job here, but certainly an opportunity that looks to balance out your finances again. And for others, some of you may be working for a corporation with the Hierophant card, or, as this is your card, Taurus, coming through here, it just feels like you're more secure in your relationship to yourself and with those around you that you have close connection to, certainly by that second week. And you're just more aligned with that important partnership around you, business or otherwise. So that was the Lover's card there. Again, union or important alliance, business partnership, however that represents for you. But we also have the card of Strength. So still into that second week, it just feels like there's still some degree of tension here. So there might still be the odd eruption if we're talking about a significant, partnership, romantic relationship, whatever that is for you. For others, there's continued struggle in the workplace with the Strength card. And that's also relevant because of the Tower card, the Strength card, the Tower card, as well as the Emperor card. So for some of you, this might be in that second week that there is that job loss, but you're really trying to keep yourself emotionally balanced here with the following card of the Two of Pentacles. Again, bit of a juggling act, and certainly it seems to be more so on the emotional front here with the Nine of Cups, and it's definitely affecting or impacting your happiness. So I do feel that you're relying on your intuition with the High Priestess coming through. You're trusting your instincts to stay calm, and you may be even hiding some of your feelings, because this is really more of a stoic kind of card. It's one of inaction, but followed by the Eight of Cups that indicates to me that there's a stepping back. You're pulling away from something here. And again, maybe that's you just trusting your instincts and you're relying on your intuition to stay calm. And so you're stepping back to be able to, regain some kind of balance, as it's followed through with the Justice card. And again, this could also be speaking to a person or a Libra, energy coming through. Doesn't have to be, but certainly could be representative of somebody characteristic of those astrological aspects. But again, it's a repeated energy. And again, that's followed up further with the Six of Pentacles. So it just feels like there's some real imbalance, balance, that kind of thing, back and forth energy. And it does feel like it's a dynamic around a relationship that needs to be resolved here. So power struggle, I guess, is maybe what I'm saying here. So we also have the Chariot card, and that is, to me, it feels like you're breaking out of that restriction. That's followed up here with the Eight of Swords, and you're able to deal with what's not being spoken with the Moon card, because things are starting, whatever was held back, it looks like there's some lessons that are starting to come to the forefront. So you're actually dealing with some of the issues with the Nine of Pentacles and with the Two of Wands. It just feels like some kind of decision has been made. And again, that's maybe for some of you that you've decided to move on from a job. For others, maybe you're just trying to figure out, what your next move will be in terms of this toxic energy of the devil. Again, this could represent Capricorn energy as well, but it just feels to me that because it's so close to, again, another Libra energy here, when it's close to the card of abundance, it just feels like some kind of decision needs to be made around that toxic energy, and that toxic energy might be of to excess. So there might be some real overindulgence on someone's behalf, or it might be that, this is a Libra energy or a mother. Maybe there's a codependent kind of relationship or a partnership or alliance, for some or others, that is smothering or has a kind of dominant, oppressive energy to it. And following up with the last few cards here, you are pretty much closing up with the Page of Pentacles. So there is a fresh start here. Again, it looks like for some of you, you might be moving in the direction of taking further education, or you've moved into another job where you are going to be learning something new here. So again, whatever this is for you, it does feel like there's some competition around it, because again, for some of you, it feels like it's a new job situation, and certainly with the Ace of Cups coming in there, and the Ace of Pentacles, it just feels like there was some kind of opportunity for some of you that you've taken, those that were seeking employment. And again, with that Temperance card, there's some kind of need to be patient. So maybe you're not actually starting the job in that first 2 weeks, but there's some kind of arrival at a decision or opportunity that's been offered to you, and it's just a matter of whether or not they have to make a decision on whether or not they're bringing you in, or however that operates for you. But there's a need, again, just to be patient. You're waiting for some kind of progress to be made with the Temperance card here. And it does feel inevitably that there is going to be some kind of practical movement toward an ambition or a window of opportunity here with, again, that Page of Pentacles. So that's what I have for you, Taurus, and I hope this brings a little bit of encouragement and hope moving forward into March here for that first 2 weeks. So keep moving forward, stay safe, and we'll see you for the second half of March coming up in the next video.